Hello and welcome to Side History. The M4 Sherman is the most well-known American tank from the Second World War. It is widely believed to be one of the main factors behind the Allied victory in the war. In late 1941, the U.S. Army needed a tank to replace the outdated M3 and to keep up with the German panzers. This led to the creation of the legendary tank, the M4 Sherman. Here are 5 things you may not know about the M4 Sherman. Number 5. The number of Shermans that were built. Between 1942 and 1945, 49,234 Shermans of different makes and models were made in the United States. In 1942, each Sherman tank cost $33,000, about $550,000 in today's money. Surprisingly, the U.S. War Department wanted as many as 67,000 Sherman tanks. But in 1943, when they started making more warships, there wasn't enough steel to go around to finish the order. Number 4. Its baptism by fire. At the Battle of El Alamein in October 1942, platoons of M4s faced off against German and Italian tanks. Hundreds of American Shermans would fight in the western desert during Operation Torch. The Sherman quickly demonstrated that it could fight the German panzers as well as the Italian tanks. By the time the Allies invaded Normandy, the Sherman had replaced the M3 as the main frontline tank. During Operation Torch, it gained a reputation for its versatility and reliability. Number 3. The Sherman's armor and bonus features. The Sherman tank's sloping front armor was one of the things that made it stand out. The tank's angled 2-inch thick hull was designed to keep shells away from its 5-man crew. The sloping armor, when combined with the crew size, had the downside of making the tank nearly 9 feet tall. Although it had a simple design, the M4 had some advanced technology for the time. One of these was the innovative gyroscopic sight that stabilized the main guns. That meant that the crews could hit targets up to 1,200 yards away, even though the tank was moving at a speed of 15 miles per hour. Number 2, surprisingly, its firepower. Early Shermans had a 75mm main gun that wasn't very good. Its low-velocity shells were outclassed by German high-velocity shells in tanks of the same size with similar caliber guns. Later versions mounted a high-velocity 76mm anti-tank gun that could fire a 15-pound projectile 2,600 feet per second. Even better, the British mounted their powerful 17-pounder gun, which put it on par with their German opponents. Other variants of the Sherman were equipped with flamethrowers, 4.5-inch rockets, and even a 155mm artillery gun. Number 1. Its longevity. When most people think of the Sherman, it's regarded as a World War II era tank. By the end of the war, it was already being replaced by the M26 Pershing tank. It may be a surprise to many that the Sherman tank was used for many years after World War II. It saw combat during the Korean War during the early 1950s. An upgraded version also saw action in the 1973 Yom Kippur War. In fact, the last active unit of Sherman tanks was finally retired in 2018 from the Paraguayan Presidential Escort Regiment. In many ways, the Sherman tank was a reflection of the American thoughts on manufacturing. Build as many as you can, make them reliable, and they served the Allies well throughout the war. It is impossible to understate the contribution that the Sherman tank made to the war effort. That's it for our video. We hope you liked it. Please share your comments on the M4 Sherman below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out.